Hey y'all, hey, I'm back. The sun is shining. Okay, we outside. So, let's talk about it. I've been hearing a lot in these last couple of months about faith without works being dead. And very true, right? You can't be praying to God and asking for things and not getting out the bed and not going to breathe fresh air and not going to uh, step foot into the places that you're asking about, right? But I think we are very focused on the wrong works. And we have a division between people, wanting to be a boss and sleep when I die, and I'm chasing the bag, and the opposite end of, I'm just gonna manifest it towards myself, right? But I think very few people are focused on like living, like being alive and having a thriving life. Um, I've been like trying to, like, I was at a point where I was pushing this hard and then I fell back because I'm like, I don't want people to feel judged. But I think it's at a point where tough love is needed. Like, we are trying to accumulate all these things to buy materialistic things and to have things for a short period of time, but we're not focused on being here. We're not focused on being able to live a long life to teach and be with our families and enjoy what God has given us here. Um, I remember a few years back, Wayne was having this problem with, the lean, and he was like, my kids is straight. Like, I pick good mothers for them. And I think even with the money mentality, we think like, oh, they gonna be set. They don't need me. And I think that that's a very ill-gotten mindset. Um, I myself plan on living over 100 years. I'm really just going over the mark of my quarter of my life. I have so much life ahead of me that um, I'm okay with being in a learning process right now and thriving process, and people will look at my life and be like, I, I, I'm not winning. I don't have the things that I should have at this point materialistically. Um, but I kind of want us to think of that the other way. Like, works without faith is dead. If y'all doing all these things to accumulate materials and to have all this money stacked up and there's no faith behind it, it it adds up to nothing. It adds up to nothing. And we have to put in works, but I really believe that putting in work to make sure you are off medication, putting in work to make sure that you're able to move around without breathing heavily, putting in work to make sure that you're putting nutritious things in your body daily. Like, we still have grown people talking about they don't drink water. And we'll go into the thing like everything's poisoned, everything. I can tell you, you drinking that poisonous water is better than you drinking poisonous sugar. Okay, I can tell you that much and be certain that I'm telling you the right thing. Because if you got faith in God, you better pray over that thing, and it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. I can tell you that for sure. Um, and there's not points where I fall short, right? We're in a flesh of a thing, right? But for you not to be trying to drink water and eat a fruit or a vegetable daily is ridiculous as an adult person. I'm going to say that real plain. It's very ridiculous for you to say that it's been days or a day without you drinking water, eating a fruit or a vegetable. We have to come off the processed foods. It's a must. It's a must. We have to come off the processed foods. And if you're going to the grocery store, and I know people will be like, yeah, I'm buying it for my kids, it lasts longer, I get the fruits and vegetables, they're spoiling. Prepare them. Don't let them spoil. You buying this stuff, do not let your money go to waste. Be a good steward of that thing. You buy fruits and vegetables, make sure when you coming in the house that you're cleaning them up and you're getting them cut down or prepared for somebody to be eating them that day, the next day, and the day after. We're so focused on the works to get material things that we're not focused on who we could be, what part of it we play. And us being healthy and cleaning out our temple is a huge part of us being able to have a relationship with God. I can tell you that me, the person I am today, the person I am today with putting things down that did nothing for me, did nothing for the health of my body. I am able to commune with God daily. When I was even eating a bunch of processed food, like, it has no nutritional value, so you just eat so much of it. Like, you eat so much of it that, we laugh about the itis, but it's really putting you in a comatose state to process the food or the chemicals, because it's not, the processed food is not food. It has no nutritional value. We are really going to knock out for our body to figure out, like, what is this? What do I do with this? It's working so hard to break it down that we can't do nothing but go to sleep. Our body is so overwhelmed when we just put it on our body that it is knocking itself out to try to figure out what is going on. And my husband was having a conversation yesterday. They're getting on a weight loss journey together, and he was talking to them about him fasting. And he was like, talking to them and telling them, that they needed to fast. And I'm talking to him like, you can't tell people they gotta fast. And when I woke up this morning, that was processing in my head, like, it would hurt nobody to fast. All the things that we are taking in daily, your body could probably use a couple of days. Or you not taking nothing in, so it can just have a break. Have a break from everything that's going on and everything that it's trying to process and figure out, because it does not recognize it. Our bodies are an amazing thing, and it recognizes what comes from nature. What is a natural thing that's going to give you nutrients? It take it in and be like, doop, 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 doop. I know exactly what to do with this, and let me move it around. Let me distribute it to where it needs to go to help you. Or eating all this processed food and drinking sodas and energy drinks and coffees and frappes and all this other stuff. Your body does not know what to do with that stuff. We really have to focus back in on living. Living. It's so crazy that that's so far from our minds, that we're doing things daily to live a long, wonderful, beautiful, prosperous life. And it's for something. You know, like, I don't, now, renounding, right? My great grandmother lived to 102. She just passed last year. But everybody else has been making it to 70 is a miraculous thing. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We should be able to live a life where we see our kids grow up, our grandkids grow up, meet our great-grands, and not because everybody having kids at 15. But because we live in past 100 to be here and share the wisdom of the last century. That needs to be our new normal that we're working towards, that we're alive to see at least 3 generations behind us and teach them. And it's so crazy because I prayed before I made this video and I was about to be talking about something else, but clearly this is what needs to be discussed. Because materialistically, I have nothing to show for this life so far except for the things that my husband has bought me, because I've never really seen a value in things, material things. It's just never been my niche. And I'm a small town girl from humble beginnings, and it never made me want to chase the bag to get things and stunt and do all those things. You know, I just want to experience things. I want to travel. I want to do those things, and that's what I've done with my fruits, right? But at this point in my life, I have a joy that I have never experienced in my life. The way I can appreciate every day. I've never been in this place. I've never been in a place where I can just appreciate like, I'm so grateful for it, to take a deep breath and feel that thing, like really be in the present moment, to feel this sun on me and take it in. And people who have watched my videos for years know that I've been in that moment where I appreciate the smaller things, but not in the way that I can appreciate them now. I have never been able to appreciate the things that I appreciate now and how I appreciate them. I was at the store the other day, and just off of a mishap, you know, I forgot something, or my husband needed me to get something, and I didn't see it until after I got back home. And I went back to the store, so I had, you know, the thing. I had that one thing in my hand, and there was 2 people in front of me with loads of stuff in their cart, right? But they was already here. They was already in the line. So who am I to be like, let me go, I only got this one thing. And the man turned around that was in front of me and was like, no, go ahead in front of me. And I'm like, no, you already been waiting. And he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. You got one thing. I got all this stuff. Go ahead. And the people in front of me, I mean, it was a cart, but it felt like two carts full of stuff. You know, they figuring out if they going to get stuff, you know. And I'm just standing there without any angst, without any frustration, without being annoyed. And, you know, just really being like, yeah, this is where I fell in line at. That's what it is. And the man behind me said, man, you is so patient. And I laughed because this has been the first time I've been in that place. God really worked on me with my patience with me combing my hair out. Of patience I didn't know I had even while doing that. You know, those things happen to build something in you, you know. And it made me just really reflect on, I really am living in that thing right now. Like, I'm really living in a patient place. And there ain't times where I'm like, okay, God, what's next? Because, you know, we still in this flesh, right? We still want to see things. But God has given me a patience for the life I've been praying for. Like, the life I really wanted. That I seen coming, and that I was like so happy and impatient to get to. I needed a level of patience that I did not have, that I am walking into now. And when he said that to me, I turned around and was like, well, me being frustrated about it right now would change nothing. It would change nothing for me to be like, oh my gosh, they got all this stuff. They taking forever. It would not pass the time any faster. It would just make my blood pressure boil, and me getting in a stirred up place in my body for what? For what? The choices of putting things down. And I'm not even going to say me putting them down didn't take God. Even when I was trying to let go of smoking weed and drinking alcohol and letting go of processed food, I was in those days praying to God, take the taste out my mouth. Take the taste out my mouth. Whatever it is that I am yearning for or chasing daily, and while I'm participating in these things, make it disgusting to me. Because I know it's not good for me. I know it's not doing me any good, but the feeling it gives me, the numbness it gives me, I'm chasing that more than I'm chasing life. I'm at a point where I have never had children yet. And I'm chasing numbness. Like, I needed to breathe. I had to really, like, God had been talking to me about it for years. For years. And I just wasn't ready to face a lot of things. But that's another thing about living in the present. Like, and I had my whole process of getting here, right? And I really had to address things head on to get here. But to be in the present moment, you can't do nothing but even be grateful for the bad in the past. I would not be who I am right now without everything that has happened to me. I would not have my empathy. I would not have my understanding of why people do the things they do. Like, even when it hurts me, I can really understand, like, dang, you just not in a place to be past your own pain to see that you hurting me. You know, I used to be like, well, I can be the devil's advocate on a lot of things. And it ain't got nothing to do with the devil. The Spirit of God in me is why I can recognize people's pain and not put that before who they are. Now, will I move around? For sure. You can't just keep on taking things when people don't understand, but you have to understand they don't understand and move around them. Not keep on trying to force change out of them. Not trying to control the situation. It's out of your control. It really is. These things we have no control over. And that's part of the growth, to recognize that. Like, there's not one person that you can control. I laughed the other day talking to somebody about that. And she was laughing like, well, she wasn't laughing. I laughed after she said, how you staying in this place? And I'm like, I'm really going with the flow on things. And it's not just to go along. Going with the flow ain't just going along. It's you just being in a moment where you're a part of something else. We are constantly in a moment where we're part of something else. Like, we want to live in the world revolves around me kind of place, but it's not that. That's not the truth. We're in a place where we're constantly walking from one situation to another, where we are in the flow of other things going on. And you can flow with it or flow against the current. And being in the flow of things, the relationship I have with God right now, my discernment is so strong that I can see it for exactly what it is. And good people get caught up in bad things. It's not to say everybody that's doing wrong is a bad person. But if they are not in a point where they can recognize, I'm flowing in the wrong direction, you can't do anything about that. All you can do is recognize what you need for your life, the path God has you on, and letting that lead you. Let what God is talking to you about be the strongest thing in the forefront. I was having a discussion a week ago, and I was talking to her about the isolation I've been in. Like, I have been in a isolation where I just really ain't been around too many people. And it was so important because I'm so empathetic that I take people's loads on. I'll take it on as my own, and I'm fighting the battle stronger than they fighting it sometimes, And I said to her, I can't wait to reintroduce myself, And she said, well, the biggest person to reintroduce yourself is to you, And I have been in that place, and I completely understand what she was saying, because you do have to understand the new you, learn you, meet you again, to know how to be confident when you're moving outside of your home or your safe place. But I can't wait to reintroduce myself in my confidence. God has gave me a confidence that's out of this world. Like, I am not afraid. Like, there's nothing that puts fear in me anymore. There's no person that stands over me. There's no person that can make me ashamed of my relationship with God. The only fear I have is falling out of the alignment God is putting me on. That's it. I fear God. That's it. Everything else is a creation. Everything else is a creation. Like if God, me and God got our relationship on point and I'm working towards bettering it daily, there's nobody that I'm worried about here. There's nothing I'm afraid of here. Because God got me covered. God got me covered. And I am so sure of that. Everything that God is talking to me about is coming. And I'm so sure about that. I just gotta prepare. And just to speak on that, God blessed me with something last weekend. In alignment with everything I've been working on. Everything me and God been in partnership with in these last few months, I got a blessing towards that. And I laugh because the invitation to the event came to a phone that I had turned off. I had got a new phone. And the phone was off. But I got that message. The message for the invitation of the blessing I was going to receive came to a phone that was off. And it came through for me to be there. There ain't nothing y'all can tell me about my God. Because me being there, God just gave me a confirmation like, they didn't even have the right number. And I still got it. God is so good. And we got to be in a place where our works is to glorify God. I know we trying to work to be a boss and for everybody to be like, you the man and all this and that. If you get anything and you not worshiping and glorifying God for putting you in that place, it's for nothing. It's for nothing. Because one thing I know for sure, God said he is going to make us the lender and not the borrower. But it's all on loan from God. God gave it to you. And it can be taken away just as fast. Y'all embarrassed about cars and stuff getting repoed. Imagine your life getting repoed because you fall out the glory of God. Because you think it's about you and not about God. Pray your provision does not cause division between you and God. That you get it, and pray that you never get it and forget who gave it to you. I know what I deserve. I know what you deserve. I love y'all.